Welcome back to A Book for My Sister podcast, where we are just two sisters hanging out and talking about books. My name is Cassie.
And my name's Amelia.
So thank you for joining us today, and we hope you follow along our reading journey by subscribing to our podcast and leaving us some comments on what you're reading right now. Amelia.
Yes.
What are you drinking today?
Well, today I have made myself a little an iced vanilla dirty chai latte.
That sounds so good.
It's pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to taste good because I've never made one before. And I wasn't sure. I have the Trader Joe's chai concentrate, like the liquid. And because they make the powder and they make like a liquid concentrate. And I wasn't sure how it was going to be because I've never had it before. But it's actually pretty good. And, no complaints. So
that's awesome.
That's good. It was pretty yummy. I do want to try the powder because I've heard that that's really good. But I bought the bottle by mistake. But it's,
I feel like powder is just better for hot anyways.
Probably. And my coworker uses it to make her dirty chai, but I think she uses like drip coffee and mixes it so there's more coffee than like with espresso.
Yeah,
so you can't really mix like a powder like that. I mean, you could. It would just be like sludgy.
5 shots of espresso.
Yeah, seriously. A whole cup of espresso. That would be a lot.
Why not?
But it's really good with oat milk. Sadly, PSA for all you oat milk and regular milk drinkers, but especially oat milk drinkers, if you put your oat milk in the back of the fridge, it can freeze. And then when it thaws, you're going to have little tiny pieces in there. And anything you pour it in is going to have tiny little pieces floating around in your drink.
My almond milk froze.
I hate that.
My fridge gets too cold.
Yeah, I guess because Thomas drinks like lactate milk and it also froze. But I don't know. I don't use it, so I don't know what it looks like. But I feel like it probably looks more normal than oat milk that's thawed.
Yeah,
but
mine didn't have chunks. It had ice chunks in it for a little bit.
Yeah, mine did
but
too.
Then when it fully thawed, it was fine.
Yeah, mine had ice chunks in it earlier this week, but I really didn't use my oat milk at all this week because I bought the Trader Joe's cold brew last week, and I just bought some brown sugar creamer, so I drank that every single day this week. So I really didn't use my oat milk, which turned out to be good because the floaty bits freak me out.
It's bad. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, they freak me out. So, but you know what? This is actually fine. I don't like to look at it because it's got floaty bits in it, but it tastes good. So, make sure you keep your oat milk in the front of the fridge, everybody. But anyway, what are you drinking today, Cassie?
I am just drinking an iced horchata latte with oat milk.
That sounds yummy. Is that like the place you got it from makes their own horchata and they just put some milk in there? Or put some coffee in there?
Yeah.
They make horchata with plant milk? Or is it like regular milk?
No, it's just syrup.
Oh, it's
horchata syrup.
Ooh.
It's a cheat.
He's
a cheat.
Okay. What is that from?
He's not even 17 yet.
Oh. That's what they say in Narnia. They say he's a cheat?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. Oh, man. I'm really excited for the new Narnia movie to come out.
Dude, Harry Potter, what? Narnia.
Oh, I thought that...
That's when he put his name in the Goblet of Fire.
Oh, I thought that you were referencing when Edmund is trying to sign up for the military and then they pull him out.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know.
Well,
that'd be crazy.
British media, nonetheless.
The military recruiter yells, "He's a cheat!"
Well, I thought someone in line.
He's not even 17 yet.
They do say that.
And you have to be 18.
No, well, he's not 18 yet.
Maybe you could be 17. I don't know.
I'm not sure. 17 sounds right. They probably don't care if you're 18. They just want you to join the war.
They love to put kids in war.
Love to throw kids onto the battlefield.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Right.
Like, oh, you haven't graduated high school? That's so sick. Here's a gun.
Join the military. Yeah, go army crawl.
You want to fly this plane?
Oh,
crazy.
My God. Anywho.
Anyway.
But that sounds yummy. Horchata. Is it like...
It is good.
Is it like cinnamony and like sweet? Or?
Yeah, it's nice. It just kind of tastes like cinnamony, sweet. Like, yeah, it's really good.
No,
simple.
Good. That sounds yummy.
Classy.
Bougie. today we are going to be talking about The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberg. This book, I actually don't have the publishing year in front of me. This book came out in 2003, and it is based on the author's experience being Anna Wintour's assistant.
Iconic.
If y'all don't know who Anna Wintour is, what?
I said iconic.
Iconic. If y'all don't know who Anna Wintour is,
read a book.
She was the editor-in-chief at Vogue. I think she stepped down like last year or something. So she's not anymore. But she was the editor-in-chief at Vogue for a super long time. She also would collaborate with the Costume Institute at the Met to organize the Met Gala, which recently has just felt
gross. Hate that.
Not like a good time anymore. No. And listen, listen, Anna Wintour, boo. Okay. She was never a good person.
No, but like being her assistant, when I said iconic, I meant what an iconic job.
Oh.
It's a job that a million girls would kill for.
A million girls would kill for this job.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, like, I mean, you know, my favorite documentary of all time, which recently maybe not so much, but is called, oh my God, what is it called? It's called The First Monday in May, and it's about organizing the Met Gala, and Anna Wintour is in it a bunch, and so is whatever his name is, who's the lead curator of the Costume Institute, Andrew Bolton, I think that's his name actually. I wanted to work at the Costume Institute at the Met so badly after watching that documentary. I was like, oh my God, like how can I do that? But, you know, they get to touch all these old clothes and, like, put them up, and it just sounds like so much fun. But, obviously, the fashion industry is incredibly problematic, and so is Anna Wintour, but it's fun. And also, the Met Gala theme that they cover in that documentary is, like, so beyond. It's, like, they try to do, like, an East meets West situation. It's when they had all of the, like, Chinese artwork and they were trying to make it westernized. It was a problem. And
that's weird.
People tried to be like, this might be a problem. And Andrew Bolton was like, I don't care. He said, don't we want a little controversy? Okay. And everyone was like, I guess you're right. So a problem, but it is an interesting documentary if you're someone who, you know, is into fashion. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, so this book was published in 2003 about Lauren Weisberg's time as Anna Wintour's assistant, and obviously there's a movie called Devil Wears Prada with Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt and Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci, the Tooch. I love him, the Tooch. And there's a new movie out. We haven't seen this new movie yet. We're going to see it, but we haven't seen it. But Cassie and I grew up watching The Devil Wears Prada.
This is my comfort movie.
Me too. It's my favorite movies of all time.
I've seen it so many times.
I know. It's like Mean Girls, where I can quote large portions of it at a given time while I'm watching it.
I have a sticker of a quote on my laptop.
Yeah, I had a.
Oh wait, actually, it must have. Oh no, that was on my old laptop.
Yeah, I used to have one. I think on my phone case. When she says, what did she say in that sticker? I think it was, by all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. Or no, maybe it's the details of your incompetence do not interest me. I don't remember. Oh,
maybe. Mine said florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
I think I also had that sticker on my old laptop.
Yeah, and then mine died, so.
Yeah, so, we're Devil Wears Prada heads, and,
Sure.
So, yeah, and I read this book a few years ago.
Me too.
And I just remember being like, okay, the movie's better.
Nothing special. Yeah, the movie's so much better.
Oh my God, the movie's a million times better. But we did read this book. So we're going to talk about the book now. So today we're starting our new little series where we talk about the books versus their movies. So obviously this is an iconic movie. We're going to be talking about the book. And while we're doing that, we're also going to be talking about the movie, which we think is better. So we're going to just be going back and forth between those two things.
The book opens with Andrea attempting to drive Miranda's giant stick shift convertible along the streets of New York City. Sounds like a nightmare. She's stressing, and in the stress, she stomps her heel down and she breaks it. She wipes her sweaty cigarette ashy hands all over her fancy Vogue pants, and then we kind of learn that she has this habit of like dirtying up and busting Runway's clothes that she borrows. So that's like disrespectful as hell. But that's so quirky. Yeah. So immediately this opening, the movie's opening is better. I mean,
it opens with that Casey.
It starts with a fashion
song.
Sequence.
What's that song? Suddenly I See.
Amazing.
They're eating almonds
banger.
for breakfast and putting on.
Yeah, you get the models with their almonds.
Lingerie.
And then you get Andrea with her onion bagel.
Honestly, if I could walk to a bodega and get an onion bagel on my way to work, that sounds delightful. But girl, we don't do that before an interview.
Also crazy for a job interview.
We don't do this.
Crazy.
We're not going to brush our teeth. We're going to smell like onion bagel. That's crazy. Even if she wasn't going to be interviewing.
Not in front of the Tooch.
No. Even if she wasn't going to be interviewing at Runway, I still wouldn't do. If you're going to interview at an office, I still wouldn't do that. Okay.
I would not do that.
Crazy.
So the book opens where she's already gotten the job, and then we kind of go back in time as the book goes along. So, yeah. In this convertible, she picks up Miranda's dog from the vet and takes it to Miranda's apartment, gets back to work, cleans up, blah, blah, blah. And then Miranda's like, hey, I needed my dog and my car at the office in 15 minutes. Right. Crazy. Now we get to flash back to her pre-Runway life. Andrea grew up in Connecticut, and she describes her childhood as embodying small-town America. She graduated from Brown with hopes of being a journalist, but she took a break, traveled around Europe with her boyfriend, Alex. They'd been dating for about 2 years at this point. And then they really go into detail about how they finished their trip in India, where she comes down with some illness, and this comes up later.
Comes up a lot.
Yeah, so then she loses a lot of weight. That's a big part of it. Because she was like dysentery, vomiting, shitting, you know.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, you know. Nasty. So yeah, she goes, stays with her parents for a few weeks, but then she's like, I gotta get in the big city. So her friend Lily, her best friend Lily, has a studio apartment in Harlem, and so she crashes at her studio apartment for weeks with no end or job in sight. Lily is a great friend for doing that. I would never
be like, hi friend that lives in a... She describes her apartment as being
studio
200
apartment.
Square feet. So I would never be like, hello 200 square foot apartment friend. Can
I crash on your couch?
Am going to sleep on your couch. I'm not going to try that hard to get out of here. I'm just going to come stay here. And her boyfriend, Alex, has his own apartment.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn. Somehow he's a teacher, which first of all in the movie his name is Nate. Mm-hmm. And he's a chef or something. He wants to be a chef, so he's not a teacher.
Yeah.
I think they were like, we've got to pick a douchier career for this man.
Yeah, we got to make this guy the villain because newsflash, in the book Alex is a saint.
He's literally the portrait of an angel. It's crazy.
A great boyfriend. So yeah, they changed that for the movie, which I'm kind of glad, but we'll get into that later because I'm kind of glad they did. But
yeah, but I'm just saying, I would never, like, I feel like Andrea's already not a good friend for this choice that she's making. But maybe their relationship is different.
We learned
that
early
sounds
on.
terrible.
She's not a good friend.
She's not a good friend.
While she's crashing there, she has been partying and randomly sending cover letters to every magazine publishing house she can think of because she wants to be an editor. So she wakes up one morning, hungover, and remembers that she has this interview at Elias Clark. So she powers through her violent hangover that literally sounds like hell. Also, just a note, she describes herself as being 5'10" and 115 pounds. So she's very emaciated, but she looks like a model, like an early 2000s model.
Yeah.
And
she's blonde.
Blonde. So and she's blonde. So it's like...
She's just a model.
You know, so she's just a model. So she goes to this interview. The HR person's like, oh my God, do you know what the runway editor is? And she's like, no, fashion's stupid. But the HR lady gives her a chance. She meets with 3 other people. And this is about like a 2-hour interview. And she finally meets Miranda Priestley, the editor-in-chief at Runway magazine. Somehow she gets this job And so, yeah, now she has to find an apartment in New York City within 8 days.
Crazy.
She's got to move out of Lily's. And yeah, her man Alex, he lives in Brooklyn, but she doesn't want to suffocate him. So she's only been staying on the weekends.
Imagine how suffocated Lily feels.
Yeah, literally.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Also, they've been together for 3 years. And I'm not saying you got to move in with someone after 3 years. Yeah. But maybe you just need to, like, be over there a little bit more often than you're at your friend's studio apartment. Because he doesn't even live in a studio apartment. He just has, like, a 1-bedroom. So it's bigger.
Which is crazy.
So maybe you should
How is he affording that?
Yeah, how does he afford this apartment? He's a public school teacher. How much were they paying public school teachers back then? Probably not very much.
Probably not very much.
And especially, he's like 22. Like a baby public school teacher.
He's fresh out of college.
But okay.
Yeah.
Sure. He must have money somehow. We don't learn anything about his family, but he must have something somewhere. Yeah.
Must.
And so once Andrea gets this job, which we don't get a correction about Andrea, and Andrea. Like, we don't really get... She's never like, oh, you can call me Andy. You've got to call me Andy. So that's why we're calling her Andrea, because that's mostly how she's addressed.
Andrea.
For the first half of this book until people start, like, calling her Andy. So she's trying to find an apartment. She's super whiny about the housing market, even though she's been looking for jobs in New York City. She hadn't done any apartment searching, which I'm kind of like, okay, well, if you're applying to jobs somewhere and you don't live there, maybe you should try to live there. I don't know. And here is where I sort of noticed that the Wattpad, this is like Wattpad writing. Like, she's like, I put on my sleek little jeans and my white t-shirt and my little boots, and I walked around this large city and da-da-da. And it's like, okay, like, there's an adjective. Okay. Every other word is an adjective. It's just like Wattpad writing 101 before there was Wattpad. So she finds an apartment. She's got some roommates who she describes as, quote, quiet Indian girls who were utterly indistinguishable from each other.
Wild.
Right. Okay. So Andrea is a little bit racist. She also uses, like, a slur for Japanese people, like 3
No, because I don't remember that. So now I'm flipping to the page, because what do you mean? Oh, jeez.
It's like, what the hell?
What the heck?
So Andrea uses a slur for Japanese people after saying that her Indian roommates look exactly the same. So she's a piece of shit.
Wow.
She also says that, quote, remarkably, there was an English-speaking attendant at the subway to help give her directions. I hate this.
What?
I hate this girl.
If you're an attendant at the subway in New York City, you got to speak a little bit of English. Like, that's kind of a requirement.
Well, she's
crazy.
And she's literally walking around New York City being like, where are all the people that speak English? Like,
where are all the people? Where are the white
people? What are you talking about?
God.
Oh my God. She sucks. Anyway.
Crazy.
She's also making $32K in 2002. Or like roundabouts 2002, 2001, 2000. And I looked it up. That's the equivalent of $58K now. And she is running around being like, I can't even believe that I'm only making $32K. What do you mean? You're making almost $60,000 in New York City in like 2000.
Yeah, because
that's
now
a lot of money.
You can't live in New York City now with $60,000.
No.
But back then, it would be a little
And she had
easier.
2 roommates.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you have money. I'm sorry. That's a lot of money. And it was 2000, so everything was cheaper.
Everything costs like, what, 25 cents?
Yeah. But anyway, so we don't really see that in the movie, because in the movie she's just already living in New York, and she already lives with her boyfriend Nate in the movie.
In a very nice apartment.
In the honestly very cute apartment with their little divider window, which is super cute.
So cute.
So she decides on her very first day of work that she is going to learn how to get to work. She didn't do any cold runs or anything on how to find the building or use the subway. She has no idea. She's asking people for directions, and they don't speak English. And then she's saying
of course, because not a single person in New York City speaks English.
She says she's getting flashbacks to India, where she was sick and no one spoke English. Like, okay. Okay, girl. She sucks. So then she finally gets to work because she decided to be the most incompetent person on earth before starting work. She does all the HR stuff, and Miranda will be out of the office for the first month of her hire, so she gets to learn the basics without her there. Emily, who's the senior assistant to Miranda, is actually super nice to her and greets her and compliments her boots. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Unlike the movie where she's a
Where
little
she
cold.
hates all of her outfits, which, to be fair, Andrea's outfits were pretty bad at the beginning of the
They
movie.
were very ugly. But we still love movie Emily.
And movie Emily is iconic.
She
Does she have
is.
an eating disorder? Yeah, she does. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they all do.
They all kind of
Andrea
do.
also says that all the men working there were, quote, flamboyantly gay, and that she had known gay people before, but none of them have been so flagrantly homosexual in front of her before. So she's met some gay people. She spends her first day taking phone messages, whatever. Emily's telling her things. She's being driven around the city to pick up different clothes from Miranda. So she's like, this maybe it won't be so bad. And then she helps Emily with some more things. And then we meet Nigel. Nigel. Who in the movie is played by the iconically amazing Stanley Tucci. And
Stanley
oh my God,
the Tooch.
we just love Stanley Tucci. But in the book, he's incredibly different. In the book, every time he on the page, which is really like twice, we like hardly see Nigel.
Yeah, he's really not,
when he is on the page, he's screaming. All of his words are in all caps. And he is just like screaming things at people about their outfits.
Yeah.
And that's about all we get of Nigel.
He's described as being 7 feet tall with tanned skin and black hair. He had 250 pounds of pure muscle. And he was wearing a catsuit. And a cape. So a little different from
a catsuit. What do you mean he's wearing a catsuit?
And a cape.
He's walking around like Catwoman around the office? That doesn't even sound fashionable.
Yeah, so.
Oh my God, Nigel. Crazy.
So a little different. I like movie Nigel because he's a little bit, he's more
We
quiet
love
and
movie Nigel.
he's just very chic and like, I don't know, I definitely am glad they didn't go with this for the movie.
Oh my God, they made so many, we'll talk about it later, but they made so many good decisions between the book and the movie. So after her first day, she hangs out with Lily. They go get dinner, and we learn a little bit about Lily. We learn that she works some odd jobs because she's getting her Russian literature master's degree. So she's just, doing little jobs here and there to try and supplement her
Isn't
income.
it? Don't they say that she likes Russian literature because she read Lolita and she related to it or something?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. She's like, yeah, I had a hot teacher and I read Lolita and I thought that was me.
Yep.
Crazy.
Okay, girl. Yeah,
She just ran with it.
Yeah, she's an interesting character. So Andrea learns that, she only has 15 minutes for lunch. And Emily is like, tells her one day, like, okay, I'm going to go get lunch. And then she's gone for 3 hours. And Andrea's like, well, I'm hungry, so I need to go get lunch. So she goes downstairs to get lunch. And so the desk is unattended and Emily sees her and starts freaking out. And, so even though Andrea was told multiple times to never leave the desk unattended, she was like, well, I gotta go get some food. Which here I would just like to say, if it is such a big deal, throughout this book it's a big deal to go get lunch because she only has 15 minutes and she's got to go down to the cafeteria to get food, and people make fun of her for eating soup, which first of all, I would not want to eat soup every single day at lunchtime.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That sounds like just yucky, but I'm not like the biggest soup person in the world, so like for me that sounds weird. But if it's such a big deal and you sometimes cannot get up to get lunch, maybe you should bring lunch.
Pack a sandwich. Pack a yogurt.
Bring a sandwich. It takes 2 seconds.
Keep them at your desk.
To make a sandwich. You make $32K a year and you have 2 roommates. I promise you can make a sandwich.
afford some bologna and cheddar cheese.
Yeah, seriously. That would be a disgusting
it's just cheap.
But, yeah, so that to me is just kind of ridiculous. And so then, flash forward a little bit, is Thanksgiving, and Andrea's home for Thanksgiving. She has an older sister in the book, and she's married. And Andrea talks about how her sister's husband, has a southern accent, and she thinks it makes him sound dumb, and she hates him because he talks so much because his accent is so annoying.
That's crazy.
He's from Texas, which her sister lives in Texas now, and she calls Texas the third world. So Andrea's just a lovely, non-judgmental person. So they're all spending Thanksgiving at her parents' house, and then they find out that her sister is pregnant. After everyone says a bunch of really inappropriate things about her being pregnant or whatever. And then she and her husband are weird. The whole family is bizarre. The whole dynamic is weird. Her sister's weird. Her sister's husband is weird. Her brother-in-law. They're all weird. And also at this point in the book, Andrea has reiterated to us many times that if she works for Miranda's office for 1 year, and she works well, she can basically pick whatever job she wants next. So, like, the last girl that had her job now is, like, the makeup editor or something. So, and because that's what she wanted to do, so she was able to pick. So she's like, well, I have to be here because everyone will kill for this job. And if I do it for 1 year, I can do whatever I want. Which sounds to be true. It does sound to be true. It doesn't sound like anyone is dragging her along. It sounds like it's true. So, that's good.
Flash forward. It is now December, and Andrea is trying to get Miranda's Twins, the new Harry Potter book, number 4. Oh my god, that's the one I was quoting. 2 days before it's released in stores. Now, this is in the movie, but it's much different.
But it's incredibly
much
different.
More difficult because it's last Harry Potter book.
It's also the 7th book, yeah.
Yeah, it's the last Harry Potter book, and it's like weeks before it comes out. So
she wants the unpublished
manuscript in the movie.
Because she's trying to fire Andrea.
Yeah, and then she actually does it. So, iconic. But yeah, so in the book, she just forges a little note to the woman at Scholastic and then just concocts a plan to get the book to the airport the next day so that the twins can have it on their flight. And she does get 2 copies. So she's like, great, I did my job. She goes and has a lovely weekend with Lily, only to realize on Sunday that her phone was not getting service in Lily's apartment. So she runs to check her messages and hears that Miranda had called her that morning about the books not arriving. Andrea calls everyone down the chain of delivery and finally is directed to Miranda herself, where Miranda says that she said no such thing, but that only 1 book had arrived, and it was very disappointing. That's all. So yeah, in the book, Miranda's, she's a major gaslighter.
She definitely is worse in the book. Like in the movie, it's just kind of like, okay, Andrea, like, relax. But in the movie or in the book, Miranda does suck. She's always like, she'll tell Andy to do something, and then she'll do it, and then Miranda will be like, I didn't tell you to do that.
And it's like, bro, I have. Okay. Yes, you did. And as work begins in January, they have 1 more week without Miranda in the office, so it's so chill. But then Miranda calls and says she'll be at the office in 10 minutes. So Andrea is running around to get her desk ready, and everyone in the runway is just freaking out. Gird your loins. Miranda arrives, stares at Andrea for what seems like a weird harassment amount of time.
She's like glaring at her up and down.
Goes in her office for like 5 minutes and leaves. Do the coat. Do the coat.
You do the coat.
So good. And that night, Andrea has to take the book to Miranda's apartment, the book, which doesn't happen till way later in the movie. But she does it very early on her like first day seeing Miranda in the office. And for some reason, like, Emily comes with her to the apartment, but doesn't go in to show her where to put everything. So she walks in, and Miranda's eating dinner with her family, which is so awkward.
Yes, it's really awkward.
So she's trying to figure out where everything goes. Miranda sees her struggling, tells her where to put the dry cleaning in the book. So Andrea starts talking to her, even though she was told 1,000,000 times not to. And when she's leaving, Miranda calls her Emily and tells her to not talk to them next time. And it's like, yeah, that's very mean, but also
and very humiliating.
So many times.
Yeah,
very humiliating. But she was told so many times to not speak, and then she's like, "Oh, how are you? Good night." You know, it's like
she's
shut
like,
up.
Like literally like speaking so much. It's insane how she can't follow one instruction, which is just like sit at your desk or like be quiet.
Yeah.
You might have just crawled into bed and asked her for a bedtime story.
So it's not this huge embarrassing thing like in the movie where she sees
she goes
a divorce
upstairs, and sees her husband telling her that he wants to divorce her,
a marital spat
after the twins have tricked her.
Yeah. Not like that. But so she leaves and she goes to a party where that she was invited to by Nigel, right?
No, by a different. There's actually a different gay man who.
Oh, I was wondering because all of a sudden he was like not in caps, so I was like, oh, I just assumed it was Nigel.
No, it was someone else whose name I can't remember.
So a bunch of celebrities are there, and this blonde guy, Christian, hits on her, and we get a whole scene where she's annoyed yet intrigued, and she realizes that he's a famous author. And then she just goes home because it's late and she's over it. So now she's been working at Runway for 4 months and finally decides to start wearing the clothes that they've been giving her to wear. Girl, like, I would have been wearing that shit. Are you kidding me? Free clothes, free designer clothing.
Literally.
So ungrateful.
Ridiculous.
So ungrateful. Whatever. She talks about her morning routine, which involves getting up at 6 a.m. to get at work at 7 a.m.
Which is a normal time to get up.
Yeah,
she's like, oh my God, I can't get up at 6
a.m.
Which, okay, like, does she get home late? She does often get home late. So that does suck.
Right.
But she's like, ugh, 6 in the morning. And it's like, okay, well, the part of the thing is that, to me, she complains. Every single square inch of this book is just her complaining up and down about her job. But if you're, like, insistent that you're going to stay at this job, you kind of have to shut up about, like, to me, it's like, okay, but if you're literally not going to quit regardless of what happens, then you need to not complain all the time. That's just going to make your life worse. That's going to make your life worse. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so, like, actually wearing Runway's clothes made her life literally easier because now she had her outfits literally picked for her. So that gives her more time in the morning. And it's like, yeah, bro, you look better and now you have more time in the morning. Don't piss me off.
So we hear more about what her day-to-day is like at work. She's got her little legion of men that help her every morning, who she calls her morning men, which is her driver, the magazine stand guy, the man who works the morning shift at the breakfast place where Miranda orders her breakfast from every day, or where she orders Miranda's breakfast from every day, and the doorman. And the doorman makes her, every time he buzzes her into the building, he makes her finish singing the song that he's singing. So he's just singing a song. She has to finish singing it out loud for him so that he'll open the door for her.
I would have thrown a steaming hot coffee on her. Oh my God. And she does that every day when she's
multiple times
like
a day.
Crying and stressed.
Multiple times a day. She'll be running in with like 4 coffees.
I would report him to HR and I would say, you gotta fire this guy.
I would threaten him. I would be like, I would pull a knife on him.
I'd threaten him with violence.
I would be like, if you're going to make me sing this damn song every morning, then I'm going to shank you. Because what are you talking about? I'm going
to kill you.
I'm not doing that. And apparently, Miranda eats 4 slices of bacon, 2 sausage links, and 1 soft cheese Danish, plus a tall Starbucks latte with 2 raw sugars every morning. And that to me sounds like the biggest stomach ache in the whole world.
It sounds disgusting.
And I'm not even a vegetarian.
I wonder if that's accurate.
I
wonder if that's accurate to Anna Wintour's
breakfast. I bet it
breakfast.
is. She seems like...
That's crazy.
And every time it cools off, if Miranda doesn't get there at the time she says she would, Andy has to keep going and getting it from the restaurant.
She can't microwave it.
Miranda can tell after it's been microwaved a certain amount of times. So she literally just has to go and get more. And I don't think I've ever had a Danish, but a soft cheese Danish sounds disgusting to me. And I like cheese and I like bread, but that sounds gross. And I like meat. I like bacon and sausage.
Yeah.
And that sounds disgusting. And then for lunch every day, she eats a rare steak with mashed potatoes and baked potatoes. So there's 2 different kinds of potatoes with the steak. And so Andy has to go get that every day, sometimes multiple times a day until she gets back. So it's crazy. And she doesn't, in the movie, I don't think, we never see her getting her breakfast. We only see her getting the coffee.
Except that one time she goes, where are my eggs?
Yes, that's true.
Then you see her running down the street with some eggs. Yeah. That's it.
And then we see her get a steak one time because Miranda specifically requests a steak. And then when Andy brings it back, I'm having lunch with her, which is the owner of Elias Clark. And then Andy throws the steak into the sink. So,
yes.
And Andy also keeps getting in trouble for taking too long while she's doing things. Like while she's out getting coffee or in the lunch, she'll call her man or she'll smoke a cigarette. Like she just will idle and take her time. And then she gets in trouble, or Emily gets in trouble on her behalf because Emily is her superior. And Andy's just like, whatever, who cares? You know what? We all do a little time thievery at our jobs. And I advocate for that. But this is my thing, is that she complains so much. She gets in trouble for doing things that she was told not to do. And then other people get in trouble because she is doing something wrong. And she's like, well, whatever. And it's like, well, if you hate your job, Emily's been here for like 2 years. So think about that, okay? And Emily in the book is like ready to snap at any time. And anytime Andrea starts to be like, well, Miranda is terrible, isn't she? Emily will like be like, yeah, she is. And then she'll like have a little snap or whatever. And she'll be like, no, she's not horrible. And it's just like Emily's on the verge at all times of like having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And now you're doing something that's getting her in trouble on a regular basis. And you don't care because, God forbid, you care about other people for like 2 seconds. But anyway, Andrea is just complaining night and day. So then Lily calls her and tells her that she's being evicted and they can move in together now. And Andrea's like, oh, that's great because my roommates make the house smell like curry all the time.
Wow. Which also, love that smell. I would be very happy about that.
Also, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, also, okay.
What is your problem? God, she just hates everyone, and then when people hate her, she's surprised. And that's, like, the worst kind of person. It's like, okay.
Yes.
So she's like, okay, well, now I get to move in with Lily, and that's great. So she's at work now. She's describing the closet to us, how it's full of all the designer pieces of clothing and everything like that. And in the movie, we do get to see it, and it's pretty fabulous. And then, you know, we hear some terrible things that runway girls say about themselves along the lines of eating disorders and fat phobia and whatnot. All the things that we're used to hearing. We're not going to go into that because it's depressing. So apparently Andy gave her current roommates 1 week's notice that she was moving out. And the next week, she and Lily move in together.
That's crazy.
I know. Literally.
Hello, this is New York City. They can't afford to live there if you move out and you give them 1 week's notice.
So,
and did she even tell him? She just like wrote a note.
That's what I was wondering is if she actually told them. Because she, on the move out day, she sees her roommates leave for work. And she's like, I wonder if they know that I'm moving out today. And I'm like, well, did you tell them?
And she leaves them a note.
Yeah, she literally writes them a note that's like on a Scrabble board. Not even a regular normal person note. She leaves them a note.
Yeah, she leaves it on a Scrabble board.
So she has limited letters that she can write with. So she can't even give them like an explanation because it sounds like they don't have one. So crazy. Anyway, it's moving day and her parents had come up to help her move and Alex, her boyfriend, comes up to move. And we get this whole interaction about how, you know, she doesn't want her parents to know that she and her boyfriend of 3 or 4 years are sleeping together. So she makes him come to the apartment later, which he didn't sleep over. So I'm kind of like, okay, like, it's not like you've got to hide that he was there. It's like he literally wasn't there. So he shows up like a minute before her parents, and her dad is like, oh, were you here already? Or are you coming or are you leaving? And Alex is like, Tiki, I just got here. I have some coffee for all of you. And her dad's like, oh, thank God. And it's like, she's 23 years old.
She's 23 years old.
Y'all relax.
Stop.
Whatever.
Stop. You're being weird.
It was so
weird.
Uncomfortable, but she is also like, they can't know. And it's like, just calm down.
My God.
Relax. And it's also a little bit tense between her and Alex because they like never see each other ever because she's working all the time. And then we also learn that she and Lily kept getting into fights because Lily was looking at apartments, I guess just for 1 week for an immediate move-in. And Lily was trying to call her and be like, do you like this apartment? Like, I need you to come see it. And Andy couldn't answer the phone, or she would have to hang up on Lily because Miranda would hear her on the phone. And I'm just like, can you just go to the bathroom and be on the phone for like 2 minutes and be like, I literally cannot. I'm so sorry.
Or can you just text and be like, yes.
Well, they have flip phones, so texting is probably hard. But
okay.
They were used to
type yes.
So they got into a really big fight because Lily was like, well, if you even care, I found us an apartment and whatever. And like, whatever. So they're moving in and Lily is mad and they're all mad at each other. So that's just great. So all of her relationships are strained, basically. So they're moving Andy's boxes into their new apartment. And then Alex tells Andy that he found out that Lily was actually arrested for flashing someone. Because she was on a date with some guy. Because she's like, in the book, I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke or just like whatever, but she's like sleeping with a different guy every single night. And Andy's always like, ugh, Lily's just sleeping with everybody. Like, whatever. She's really terrible. And so Andy's terrible, not Lily. Lily was out with some guy, and she...
It was like tongue ring or
tongue ring guy, and she was out with him, and they were like walking, and then I guess she flashed her whole area at him out in the street.
Whole ass.
Not her ass.
I thought it was her ass.
No, it was her whole visage was out.
Oh, well,
in the street. So,
crazy.
She just like lifted up her skirt basically in front of like a restaurant window. And so some kids saw, and they told their mom, and so their mom called the cops. And then when the cops got there, she was basically having sex on the street with this guy. And then she flipped off the police officer, and then she got arrested.
So in this book, she's also very much an alcoholic and has drinking problems. And Andrea refuses to acknowledge that.
And Alex is like, I think Lily's an alcoholic. And she's like, she can't be an alcoholic because I haven't seen her do that, even though she has. Yeah. Once again, Andy is basically like, if this is going to be an inconvenience to me, then I don't want to do it.
She's like, I really can't have Lily be an alcoholic right now. So let's just say she's in college and having fun.
For me. Exactly. This is not good timing for me. So she's not going to moving day because she's in jail. So back at work, Miranda is out of the country for 2 weeks, and Andy's like, we're going to have an amazing time because she's gone. So Miranda, is calling her up and down all day long about, whatever, just being annoying. And Emily yells at Andy for having such a bad attitude and complaining all the time. Thank you for doing that, Emily. And then Alex emails Andy and is like, can you please call me at 3:30 because I have something I want to talk to you about. And then she forgets, of course. And then she calls him later, like at 10 p.m. and he's like, girl, I asked you to call me at 3:30 and you said you would, and then you didn't. And she's like, well, I was so busy and I okay, maybe don't be in a relationship. That's my advice. If you can't make any time at all
Alex
whatsoever,
deserves better.
Oh my god. And I would never say that about a man, but I'm just saying he deserves better. So she calls him at 10 p.m. and he tells her that he's booked a vacation trip for them to go to homecoming, which... Yeah, I'm confused about what that is, but
what that was about.
Like back to Connecticut or whatever. They are adults. They're going to homecoming. I don't know. And she's like, "Oh my god, that's so exciting!" So it's good news. He's booked them a vacation, and she's like, "Wow, amazing." Yeah. So yeah.
So then she goes out to Lily to Benihana. Uh-huh. And then that's where they're running to
Benihana.
Oh. Christian is that sleazy journalist writer. He's not a journalist, he's a writer, and who keeps sexually harassing her. And I actually turned to the page where this is before, but I just wanted to read because it's like he's like kind of sexually harassing her, but she's like really into it, even though she has a wonderful man who loves and supports her. Uh-huh. So this is the first time he calls her. Let me see. Oh yeah, he's like, oh, want to come to this fancy dinner? And she's like, did he just ask me out? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He just asked me out. Oh my god, like she's freaking out, like, oh my god, I can't believe he asked me out. And she said, I haven't been asked out on a date by anyone other than Alex in 3 years. And it's like, yeah, right,
you're just describing your relationship.
That's your boyfriend. So that's your boyfriend.
In case you forgot.
It makes sense that he's the only one that asked you out because he's your boyfriend. Yeah, and she's like, I don't need to reveal the existence of my boyfriend. It's not any of his business, right?
Right.
Well, he just asked you out. So I think it is a little bit of his business. Yeah, so she just sucks. Horrible girlfriend.
And like, if you don't want to be in a relationship anymore and you want to go date people, then that's fine. Just break up with your boyfriend, though. Don't with cheat.
Other people.
And Lily,
don't cheat.
Lily is like, well, it's okay, just live a little bit. And it's also like Lily is portrayed to be Alex's friend also, but in the book, she's like, if you just kiss somebody, it's not cheating on our friend Alex. They're both bad friends, I guess.
So, yeah. Because, they run into Christian, and that's where he kisses her on the neck, and it's like, and Lily's like, it's okay, and it's like, oh,
and in the movie, Lily sees him, like, kiss her cheek or something, and at her art gallery, because in the movie, she's, like, an art gallery curator or whatever. Yeah, she does. And she gets really mad, and she's like, how could you cheat on Alex? Or Nate, because his name is Nate in the movie. And so Lily's mad in the movie, and in the book, she's like, well, that's fine. She endorses it in the book.
Yeah, not good. Then Andy and Alex make plans to hang out and watch a movie. Miranda decides to ask her last minute to work at a party. So she's at home getting ready, and Alex is there already, and it takes her so long to realize that he's upset.
Literally,
she's always canceling their dates.
Yeah.
And then they kick the guy. So Lily brought home a guy, and they kick him out. And then that's where they realize, in fact, that her drinking has gotten out of hand.
Because she doesn't know who the guy is, and it's really awful. Yeah. And the guys are really disgusting and nasty.
Gross, yeah. But can't talk about it because Andy has to go to the work event.
So her friend can't have this problem right now. She can't have this problem right now.
Yeah, sorry. No, we're not having an intervention right now.
No.
And at this party, Andy kind of starts to admire Miranda, but also pity her.
She's feelings now for Miranda.
She's feelings. Emily calls her over the weekend and tells Andy that she has mono and she can't go to Europe with Miranda, which is supposed to happen the following week.
So it's like the Paris trip. They call it Europe.
Yeah, the Paris trip. And in the movie, that's she actually gets hit by a cab and breaks her leg.
But she's on the phone with Andy.
Mono, yes, so mono's a lot more tame. I get it though. Mono, I had it once.
Oh yeah,
horrible.
You did. Also in the movie,
mono is
what actually is happening is that Miranda tells Andy that she doesn't want Emily to come to Paris with her, and she wants Andy to come to Paris with her. And she tells Andy that she needs to call Emily right now and tell her that she's not going to Paris. And so Andy calls her while Emily's out picking up some Hermes scarves for Miranda. And she's got all these boxes in her hands, and she's running around with her cell phone, and she runs into the street, and as Andy's about to tell her, she gets hit by a cab. And then Andy has to go to the hospital and tell her. So in the movie, it's not even like she gets hit by a car and she can't go. It's like Miranda's like, tell her that I'm breaking up with her right now. That's what it is. So.
Yeah, because in the movie, Andy's actually excelling at her job.
Yeah.
Not so much in the book. So yeah, she's supposed to go to Paris on this Paris trip the same week that Alex had booked their homecoming trip.
Oh no.
Yikes. So Andy has to tell Alex, and he's like, dude, I need to take a break. You have let your job take over your entire life. He leaves, and she is sad, but then her man Christian calls her, and she's like, ooh, well, this is fine. It's okay to leave your boyfriend, but just do it and don't be mean. And just
don't cheat on people. Okay,
just break up. It's fine. The next day at work is crazy because Miranda's about to leave for it's not a Paris.
No, she's going to Italy. She's going to be in Italy, and then she's going to be in Paris because it's like a Europe. In the book, it's like a Europe trip,
a Europe tour. So yeah, she's barking orders at everyone, and Emily has mono, so she's not there. When Miranda leaves, Andy's about to call Alex to complain about her day, but then she remembers they're on a break and is sad. Yeah. So it's like, girl, all you're doing is complaining. That's literally the only reason you want to call him.
You miss him because you don't have anyone to complain to right now?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's like, you are the problem. That's why you're on a break. Crazy. She flies to Paris and starts work right away. Her hotel room is even connected to Miranda's, and she's having a terrible time. Emily calls on the second day to ask how everything's going, and Andy's sarcastic the whole time, which is just a little ridiculous because Emily hasn't done anything to her except get mono, but it's whatever. She gets to relax for most of the day, and then Miranda calls while she's getting a massage and tells her to be ready to go to a party in an hour. Of course, her man's Christian is at this party, and he sticks his tongue in her mouth with no consent. So that's just great and gross. But, whatever.
Gross.
They hang out and dance all night, and then Miranda's ready to leave. So Andy leaves with her. In the car, Miranda asks her how long she's been working with her and if she's learned anything useful. Andy responds, and Miranda tells her that what she wants to do, and Andy says writing. So Miranda says, hey, write a couple small pieces for Runway and see how they do. She even offers to call the New Yorker, Andy's dream paper. Then Miranda goes to bed, and Andy checks her phone. She has a message from Alex and her mom asking her to call them. So that freaks her out. She calls her mom and finds out that Lily was in a bad car accident and is in a coma. Okay, I'm going to be so honest. I did not finish my reread. So what?
So the rest of this is going to be, do you want me to read the rest of this?
No,
so you're not going, what? Every
other
time.
Oh my God. Yeah, I did not finish. That's crazy. Oh my God. She calls Alex next, and he tells her that Lily's blood alcohol level was twice the legal amount, 0.16. He asks her when she's coming home, and she starts saying all this stuff about how he's blaming her for the accident.
Which he's not doing.
No, I'm not.
No.
But I know you'll do the right thing, a.k.a. come home early. And Andy's mad, but she tries to think through options. How can she come home?
Yeah. So the next morning, she's in the cab with Miranda. You know, she got like 2 hours of sleep or whatever, so she's tired. And she's prepping for the day, and her dad calls her. And Andy picks up the phone, and he tells her that Lily seems to be waking up. And he's like, are you going to come home because your friend is waking up? Your alcoholic friend who's in a coma is waking up.
Oh my God.
And she's like,
Crazy.
I don't know. It conflicts with something that I have to do on Saturday for my job, so maybe. And then she hangs up. And Miranda is like, oh, what's going on? And Andy is like, and Andy tells her that, she's like, my friend got into a car accident. She's in a coma.
My friend was drinking and driving, got into a car accident in a coma.
But I'm going to stay here and finish my job. And Miranda is like, I'm so glad that you're going to stay. And
Crazy.
Now she really, really wants to help Andy because she's like, you're so committed to Runway and you remind me of my younger self. And Andy's like, oh my God. What? And in the movie, when Miranda says, you remind me of my younger self in the cab, Andy... That's when she's like,
I could never do something like that.
And she's like, you already have.
Yes, you already did.
To Emily. Yeah. So, and then Andy gets out of the car in the movie. But in the book, she's like, you remind me of my younger self. And Andy's like, what the fuck? And then they arrive at the fashion show.
Hell no.
So Andy's like freaking out, but she's got to maintain her composure. So after the show, Miranda comes up and screams at Andy because apparently her daughter's passports have expired and they're supposed to fly to Paris that night.
Jeez.
So she tells Andy to figure it out. She's like, you've got to get my girls here. They've got to get on that flight tonight so you figure it out. Which, if anyone's ever
that's not happening.
gotten a passport, you know that it doesn't take, 3 hours. So... she's like, we need to figure it out and get my girls here. And Andy calls her mom in front of Miranda right there. And she says, girl, book me that flight because I'm coming home right now. I'm not doing this anymore. And then she hangs up. And Miranda's like, what are you doing? And she says, fuck you, Miranda. And then she leaves. And Miranda's like, oh my God. And just like freaking out and causing a scene and everyone's staring. And then,
that's awesome.
So she leaves. So we have a little time skip of a couple of weeks. And now it's Thanksgiving again. So it's been a year. And Andy and Lily are living at Andy's parents' house, which it sounds like they're going to do for a couple more months. So Lily seems to be perfectly fine now, but she has to use crutches. And they're like sharing a room because Andy's sister is there with her baby. And I guess she's never met this baby before because the baby's, was born when she was working really hard. So she's meeting her nephew. Her little Texan nephew, and Lily's there, and everyone's having a lovely time.
Oh, God, he has such a thick accent.
Stupid little child.
He's crying, wah, wah,
Mom,
Mama.
Yeah, Mama. Oh, man. So then we get a little flashback to when Emily called her right after Andy walked out to fire her. And she's like, well, what did you do? Miranda said you did something uncouth. And she wouldn't tell me what. And she tells her, and she's like, wow, that's amazing. That's pretty funny. So then Andy's like, well, where am I going to work now? I'm not even sure who would want to hire me. And Emily's like, well, you could go work for Anna Wintour. I hear she's not very nice, which I thought was kind of funny. So then, and now it's, Thanksgiving. Alex and Andy are not back together. They talked about it. And Alex was like, I feel like we've been slowly breaking up for a year. And Andy's like, well, I don't know about that. And he's like,
That's
what do
crazy.
you mean?
We've been on a break for a year.
We've basically been, you haven't asked me how I'm doing in a year, but okay. So they're not back together, thank God. But 17 magazine calls her and they tell her they want to publish a story she submitted to them. So that's good. And then, they work together more. And so basically she's working for 17 magazine at the end of this book. She sold most of her runway clothes to a consignment boutique where they write, I don't know what consignment boutiques were like in the year 2000, okay?
Crazy.
But they write her a check up front for $38,000 for her runway clothes.
What?
And I just want to say...
Also...
What?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, as someone that has actually worked at a consignment boutique before... I don't know how they worked in 2000. That is not how hardly any consignment store runs its business. You get paid a small percentage, like 40 to 50% of the clothing sale price after it sells. You don't, and also what consignment store has $38,000 that they can write a check for up front? She's walking out there with a 30. Also, can you even cash a $38,000 check? I'm sure you can.
I have no idea.
But that sounds crazy. Yeah. To me, that sounds like ridiculous.
That is crazy.
But also, I don't believe that
fired.
Happened.
You got fired. Doesn't that? Why don't you have to return your clothes? Why can you keep?
She
them?
says that nobody asked her for the clothes back, so she just didn't return them.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like fair whatever. Enough. But anyway,
yeah,
she's going places. She's living her life now. So that's the end of the book.
The end.
The end. So,
all right.
Major differences. Well, we're not going to give like a summary of the movie because I mean, it's just her doing things for Miranda. But you know, the movie's better.
The movie's better. Don't read the book.
Don't read the book. Oh my god, I wouldn't even try. Don't read the book.
Don't read the book.
What is different? Well, the job doesn't seem as hard in the movie. Yeah. And Miranda's not so terrible in the movie. Like, the movie, the job is like, yeah, that would suck. But I don't think it would totally, you know, make me... I mean, maybe it would make me a horrible person. I just, you know... And in the movie, also, her boyfriend, Nate, who's a chef, is the enemy in the movie. He is the enemy. He sucks. He's always like, why are you dressed nice? I don't even like your clothes anymore. I miss when you would wear giant cerulean bags and khaki skirts and walk around ugly in the biggest, clunkiest clogs I've ever seen. And like, whatever. I wear big sweaters and big shoes. Okay, I understand. But he is like being an asshole about it. Like that, when I wear something nice, Thomas isn't like, ugh, where's your baggy sweater? I hate this ugly dress. Good. Like, it's so...
Sweatpants.
Yeah, seriously. He's complaining that his girlfriend is like looking nice. So...
Looks fabulous.
Yeah, he's like, how dare you? And, you know, he's like telling her she doesn't have any integrity. In the movie, he's like, you know, if you did your job with some integrity, then I would care.
You could be out there pole dancing all night.
Yeah.
You did it with a little integrity. Bro, what?
Shut the fuck
You're
up.
You're comparing her job to being a pole dancer?
Well, also, like, whatever, but, like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes you do have to do a job that you hate. As somebody who has done... how it is. Like, truly, I have been on the receiving end of hearing a lot about hearing people only complain about their jobs and stuff. And I have also been the person who complains about my job all the time. I'm not that person anymore because my job is whatever now. But I have worked jobs where I did feel like they made me a worse person and I was complaining about them all the time. And people would be like, you're talking about your job all the time. I need you to stop. And like... It sucks to hear someone only complain about their job. And you start to have another conversation about something, and then they're like, this other thing at work, and you're like, oh my God. Like, that sucks to be around that person, and it sucks to be that person. So, I can definitely understand being, like, even in the movie, being around someone who's always just like, oh, I have to do this for my job. But if you're going to have a job like that, you also need to, like... think about the people around. You can't just become a self-absorbed little person. You have to, like... Yeah. You gotta live your life still. It is a job. And sometimes you have to do a job that you hate. But if it's only for a year, and you know it's only for a year, and your friends know that it's only for a year, I feel like if you're doing something like that, and you know there's a time where it's gonna end, and it's soon, you know, y'all can temper each other's expectations and whatever, but... I just, in the movie, I feel like, you know, it's really not so bad, but her boyfriend sucks in that movie. And he doesn't really seem to understand that sometimes you have to, if you want a job, like with the job that she wants, sometimes you gotta, like, do something that sucks for just a little bit. 1 year? When she's 22? That's nothing.
Come on.
That is nothing. So anyway, but the movie is... more fun.
Has
the
Stanley Tucci doing
Meryl
a great
Streep,
friend, Meryl Streep,
Emily Blunt. Anne Hathaway.
Fashion.
Amazing clothes.
That's also why it's better, because you get all the fashion montages.
Yeah, you get to see. Yeah, she's walking across the street. Her montage, her Vogue montage. Everyone it's everywhere that you go. I don't know the words.
Yeah. Neither do I. So it's great.
It's great. You know, the acting is amazing. There's less people. There's, I'm sure there are, I know there are things that happen because that movie came out in like 2006 where we're like, oh God, that's really horrible. But
oh yeah, where they cheers for her being a size 4.
Yeah, yes. When they cheers for being a size 4.
You bet your size 6 ass.
And she's like, size 4. And
size
he's like,
4.
wow, we have something else to toast or whatever.
It's crazy.
And when Emily says, and she's like, well, Emily, you look so thin. And she's like, well, thank you.
I flew away from my goal weight.
And every time I feel like I'm about to faint, I need a cube of cheese.
Crazy. Really? It's for Paris. Well, you see, I'm on this new diet. I don't eat anything.
And then, well, I feel like I'm about to
faint.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I eat a cube of cheese. It's very effective.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
It's bad. Okay, but we get the cerulean speech.
Yes.
You know, it's really good. You know, would a Gen Alpha child watching Devil Wears Prada, would they think the same things that we thought when we were their age? Probably not. They'd be like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. I don't know. I feel like it's 2026. If you're like I don't know when the first year of Gen Alpha is. How old is the oldest Gen Alpha child? Let me look.
I have no idea.
Gen Alpha years. 2013. So they could be 16. Is that right? Yes. So I feel like a 16-year-old in 2026 watching Devil Wears Prada would be like, ooh, this is not good.
This is problematic. And to that, I'd be like,
yes, it is.
It's just a product of time.
You are correct. It is problematic. But when you grew up watching Devil Wears Prada, it just is a comfort. It's just like Mean Girls. Mean Girls is also problematic as fuck.
And you
know what? I know all the damn words to that movie. So, but I have that movie illegally downloaded on my computer, so I can watch it anytime I want.
Great.
So anyway, for free, not giving anybody. So, the movie is great. The book is terrible. And I also thought that it was interesting. So I guess now we can just talk about the book in general and the movie and whatever. So I thought it was interesting that while the book is obviously supposed to be dramatized, like a dramatized memoir, whatever, tell all, she makes up a backstory for Miranda that is nothing like Anna Wintour's actual early life. So I don't know if I'm sure she was trying to like remove Anna Wintour a little bit, but it doesn't seem like she's trying that hard. If we know this is a memoir, what does the back of this book say? Does it say it's a memoir? I don't think it does. It says it's a novel. I don't know. I don't know what people knew when this book came out. But she does make up an entirely different backstory from Miranda that is like not at all like Anna Wintour. So I just thought that was interesting. In the book, she says Miranda's mother, and Anna Wintour, I think I didn't realize that she was British, even though it's very obvious when you hear her speak that she's British. But I didn't know that. Yeah. So whenever I hear that she's British, I'm like, oh, right, I forgot. But she says in the book that Miranda's mother died in childbirth and that her family was very poor and very Jewish and that she was one of 11 children, which Anna Wintour is not Jewish. She was not one of 11 children. In reality, her mom did not die in childbirth. Her parents did get divorced. She was one of 4 children, and her dad was a newspaper editor who like taught her how to be an editor, basically. So her dad, she says, I think in an interview somewhere, that her dad is the reason that she's an editor. So her life is not at all the way that she describes in this book. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything because it's supposed to be dramatized. But anyway.
Well, I think we can say out of on a scale of 1 to 10 lukewarm cheese danishes, how much do you rate this book?
That actually makes me want to throw up.
Well, what do you rate it?
The book, God, I would probably rate this book like 2 cheese danishes.
I agree. 2
This book is terrible.
Cheese danishes. It's not
This
good.
book is and it's poorly written. It's not even like like, she makes herself look like such an unsympathetic character in this book.
Yeah.
And so the character sucks, but also it reminds me of a Wattpad book. And if I'm reading a real book, it's not a Wattpad book and it's giving Wattpad book, then that's a problem, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just so bad. It's so poorly written. It's so bad. And I don't like it.
Okay.
The movie, though.
I was going to say, on a scale of 1 to 10 onion bagels, how much do you rate the movie?
I would give that movie 10 onion bagels.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure.
10 out of 10 girded loins.
One more thing that just makes her look absolutely horrible in the book is her gay coworker that she talks to a lot, whose name I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
He tells her that he, like, went home with some guy from their party that they went to, and she tells him that he needs to not have sex with anybody because it's the time of AIDS and he's going to get AIDS.
Hey, girl, so condoms exist.
And also, what a horrible thing to say to somebody.
Yeah, that's not nice.
It's 2000. He probably knows people that have died of AIDS also. Like,
have some goddamn empathy.
She is just like the worst human being I've ever read. And I just finished a book about a trad wife influencer, and I think that Andy is somehow, she's on the same level as insufferable and awful as that crazy. Horrible woman. So, yeah, she was insufferable and horrible, and the writing was bad, and she's mean to everybody, and then she's surprised when all of her friends don't like her anymore.
Well,
wow. Crazy.
Wow.
Anyway. Wow. Anyway, do you have any other things to say, Cassie, about the book or the movie?
Don't think so. We'll watch the second one and compare.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of A Book for My Sister podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. You can find us at A Book for My Sister podcast. We'll be back next week to talk about our thoughts on Devil Wears Prada 2. We haven't seen it. We're going to see it. We'll just be back. Short little episode, just talking about our thoughts on the movie. So just keep on yapping and reading until then, and you guys will hear us next time.
Till next time.
That's
all.
Oh yeah, that's all.
That's all.
I don't know if that's how I want to introduce the book, because I feel like that didn't sound good.
I was like, are you waiting for me to say something? Like, we didn't practice.
Originally, I was going to start singing Vogue, and then I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea.